Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me to take a first look at the brand new Mercedes-Benz S Class. The S Class has always been the pioneer of technology and luxury, and this car is no different. Today we're going to go through it in detail, some of the features on the inside, like the new MBUX system, which has interaction by voice and touch, but also by your gaze and by gestures. We've got things like an augmented reality heads-up display, we've got a 3D dashboard. On the outside we've got the new digital light headlights, various bits of autonomous functionality, the e-active body control, rear wheel steering up to 10 degrees. You get the picture that this car is loaded with tech, and today we're going to take a full look at it. We'll go for a walk around, but we're taking a look at the inside to go through the new S Class in detail. The car that we're looking at here is the long wheelbase version of the new S500. It's also wearing the AMG Line package, which gives a slightly sportier appearance at the front and rear, as well as the larger 21-inch wheels that we have on this car too. But the S Class has always been the pinnacle of luxury transport. Its ancestry from Mercedes-Benz goes back more than a century, over 100 years of different models, and in recent decades it's always been a technological tour de force, always launching to be the first series production car incorporating new technologies. We've seen the likes of ABS, airbags, ESP, navigation systems, command infotainment, the list goes on, and this car is no different. There's a lot to explore, but let's start on the exterior and talk a little bit about the design. Of course, sitting over 5 meters long, it's a luxury 4-door saloon car, a limousine, a comfortable place to be, but now with a sportier appearance than before. You'll notice from the rear, it's a more coupe-like design. You still have very clean surfaces, but with this sharp line that runs the full length of the car to give it a bit more presence. If we come round towards the front, you will spot, like all S-Class models, it still wears the Mercedes 3-pointed star on the bonnet, a tradition, an iconic feature, but it has a new look to the grille, a sportier grille again. It sits wider, slightly more angular, and then it has these narrower headlights that feature the digital light technology. These are very clever. You've got the 3 lenses, but they actually project 1.3 million pixels per side, which means technically, if the legislation allowed, you could use these to project videos. That means they can blank out objects off in the distance in front of you. Down towards the bottom, with the AMG Line package, you have this traditional or familiar AMG style look. You can also get the night package to take away the chrome accents and details that we have on this car against the diamond white paintwork. But let's come and take a look at the interior, and to do so, here we have the brand new key that is launched with the new S Class. It's a keyless system, working as well in this case with the optional extending door handles. You'll see as I unlock the car, they pop out from the bodywork, normally sitting flush, giving a smooth, clean appearance. It's keyless, so you can pop that away in your pocket, and as you then walk up towards the car, it recognises you approaching, pops out the door handles, or you can give a small touch and they will pop as well, where you then have an electric catch, a small pull to pop open the doors, soft close to close them, and of course press the button to lock it as well. This is an option. Normally it would have the more traditional door handles like you will also have on the Guard, the bulletproof version of the S Class. But let's take a look then inside here, the mix of luxury with the latest MBUX system. On this car we've got the full red leather interior. Just take a look though at the dashboard, the way you have the ambient lighting wrapping around the entire cabin. You've got these flatter central consoles, look at the way that illuminates, with the carbon fibre trim, almost like a racetrack going round there towards the armrests on the doors, but the integration of the systems and the screens. We've got a 10.25-inch 3D dashboard for the driver. Above that we've got the augmented reality fantastic heads-up display. In the centre we've got the 12.3-inch full MBUX system, which mimics in towards the rear as well. But it's not just that, it's also the comfort. Look around, it's uncluttered, it's cleanly presented. We've got features like the cushions on the pillows, and come and take a look as well in the rear of the car, the extended wheelbase version, 11 centimetres more space here for the rear passengers, but we've got the tablet in the centre which continues the MBUX. We've got the 2 11-inch tablets on the back of the seats. You can put it into the lounge seat position. You've got similar features here, the perforations for the ventilation, the heated seats, everything that you might come to expect inside the car. This car is very well equipped in terms of technology. The S Class introduced before air suspension, but we've now got the e-active body control, an evolution of what we've seen on the GLE, the air suspension which enables the car of course to have a variety of different driving modes, from comfort to being more dynamic, but also now including safety systems. For example, if the car detects that it's about to have a side impact collision, it will automatically lift the suspension almost instantly to do the least damage possible to the occupants. We've also got this incredible rear wheel steering. Now this car is fitted with the larger and wider wheels, but if you have the smaller wheels, the 20-inch with 255 section tyres at the rear, it will enable the car to have 10 degrees of rear wheel steering. That means at low speeds, the whole car can have a turning radius of just 2 meters to go almost instantly into a perpendicular parking bay. It has 4.5 degrees of turn if you keep the larger wheels like this one has, which even still is quite a significant amount to give extra maneuverability at low speeds and also, of course, stability at higher speeds as well. It's also, as you might expect, well equipped in terms of future autonomous driving. You'll spot the bubble up here with sensors. We've got a camera here to detect emergency services that might be following. It comes with level 2 as standard of autonomous driving, with level 3 to come in the future, with also over-the-air updates in terms of upgrades to the car as well, to the software. Here we've got the sensors, the radar, the cameras. It has the 360 surround camera system to also help with park assist and the automatic parking functionality as well. I have moved over to take a look at this car, which is in high-tech silver. This car doesn't have the AMG line, so you can see the normal look to the lower sections of the front bumper, but let's take a full look through the MBUX and start experimenting with some of the systems on an interior that looks stunning. Inside here with the blue and purple lighting against the tan of the leather, we've also got the different inlays for the dashboard as well. But let me take a seat so that we can start demonstrating some of this. One press to turn on the car, one press to bring it, wake it up a little bit more with the ignition on. So you will spot as everything comes up, we have an interface that looks familiar but significantly updated. The car has voice control, gaze control, gesture control, all sorts of different things you can do, and it even has microphones on every individual seat area so that you could talk to it from a specific seat. Of course, you've got the integrated voice assistant, so you can say, "Hey Mercedes,
how may I help you?
Set the temperature to 19 degrees." And you can see that it detects where you're talking from. Very clever. You can use that to set the nav, to change the colour of the lighting, to do just about anything that you might want. Now we've got the new touch steering wheel. So inside here, using the left side to control the dashboard, this is where you can go through a number of different displays. For example, if we bring up the sport display here, you'll see that view. Obviously the dashboard and the lighting is doing all sorts of things. You've got the 3D setting here, which changes the appearance, and it gives this look, despite not being 3D, no 3D glasses, it gives a 3D visual appearance of depth in terms of the screen, each setting looking slightly different. I'm not sure if the camera is really able to capture that in the way that I see it, but I've got the speed, for example, sitting in front of the red circles that you see behind it. It has gaze control, so if the door was closed, if we pull this too, if you want to set the mirrors, it can detect where you're looking and move the mirror that you're looking at. You don't have to choose left or right, you just look in that direction, do it, and it will adjust the mirrors from one to the other. It is that level of clever. You can see here how the dashboard swoops around towards our controls for the seat. These are actually buttons that don't move, you just touch on the side to adjust the seat different ways. You've got your heating, your ventilation, you can move the right seat from the rear, you can also move the front seats as well. This lighting is magnificent, the way it sits behind these panels and wraps around the dashboard in front of us. Through this system, with all of its controls, we've also got profiles. So inside here, when you enter the car, you have your profile with 800 parameters, 800 settings that you can change. Things that it will remember, it can access through facial recognition, through a PIN code, or through the fingerprint sensor to set which profile and who you are, who's just arrived at the car. The beauty of that is everything is configured in whichever seat you're sitting in to be exactly how you want it. We've got the main tiles and controls and access to settings, infotainment, different displays, and believe me, there's a lot. I mean, just going through the assistance systems, look at how much we've got in here. I'm not going to talk about everything because it would become a very, very long list. But you can see we've got the different modes as well. This is quite fun. We've got the driving modes, so you've got sport there, comfort, curve to set the suspension specifically for driving around corners, eco, and then you can go up into Sport Plus or Individual, which you can then configure and set up the car exactly as you'd like it. So it's a very intuitive interface, works really, really efficiently and smoothly. Obviously, it is a move towards a touchscreen, which does mean you need to look at exactly what you're pressing, but you can use the speech to talk to it and ask it to do things. One thing I quite like in the info is that you can have these different displays showing you your driving style, what's going on at the time, and you can see that there's so much. This system I could go on forever playing with it. Now the sound system to talk about, the Burmester 4D system, has a whole host of speakers all around, including up on the roof as well. I've just noticed quite how stunning this finish actually is around the light panel that you have up here. But it also has features inside the seats that you can set, and they vibrate to bring the music right to you. And in fact, you've got some amazing settings for configuring your audio. If you go through here and you go to the right pages, you can set it up through an interface where it asks you questions to get the perfect audio for exactly what you would like to listen to. It's just magnificent, this car, honestly. This is leaps and bounds ahead of the technology I've seen in anything else. And we've obviously got a host of different screens and images, exclusive, depending how you want to see it. And seeing this in 3D, this is really quite something. It's very, very impressive. You can go full navigation if you'd like to have the map up full screen, where for me now it's sitting behind all of the other displays. Wow. Just completely filled with info. Let me show you a little bit into the rear of the car. So I'll just come around very quickly to the opposite corner from the driver's seat, of course, where the passenger would typically find themselves back here. So I can show you a little bit more the screens and systems. And I guess where to begin? Well, we've obviously got a system here we can turn on. You can see the profiles. You can continue without a profile, but this is where you could choose. It would recognize who you are using the camera on the tablet, or you could enter the pre-assigned profile where everything will just be completely ready for you. As we look around, again, a clean appearance, not overloaded with clutter and buttons, a beautiful presented rear section just like we had in the previous generation. In here, no doubt you'll be able to spec different things, like for example a fridge for your bottled drinks or whatever it may be. You've got the seats filled with padding. Even in the rear, by the way, the pillows can be heated, the headrest can be heated. You've got the trim around the back of the seats. The lighting is really incredible. You can change it to be a monotone, to be your exact choice of color, to be a whole host of predefined colors and settings as well. On here, you can do everything that you can do on the main screen. You can mirror the screens. You can also mirror this into the tablet. If we just turn this on and eject it very quickly, and in fact, after I pop this out, I'm also going to turn on the rear left display so that we have that illuminated as well. There we go. Oh, pressed it twice. So that screen is up, and you can see on this, you can select rear left, for example. This will then connect straight to that screen, and we have the exact same thing again. And you can do everything through this. You can choose music and which zones it's playing out of. You can change the various controls. You basically have a full repeat of the infotainment up front available to the person sitting back here, whatever it might be. Opening and closing the sun blinds you can do through here. Close all, for example. Everything around us is shutting up. Obviously you've got these windows which blinds which you can control and do. Front roof section closed. Everything has closed up. Oh, even the second rear part of the sunroof is closing also. Look at this, it's all finished. So magnificent, everything. Even the buttons that you have up here for the reading lights which illuminate these central sections as well. One press again, open all of this control. It's all digital, it's all integrated. Everything works seamlessly together. The lights, you can change the ambient lighting color. You can have a quick look at this, how you can set it literally to be whatever color you would like, and the lighting instantly changes all around the dashboard. We can go blue. You see the endless fun that you could have with this. Back to the blue and purple that we had before, and you can do it all through this. You can do everything through this. You can talk to it from the back. You can change the temperature. So for example, back here it's set, as you can see, for 22. Let me try this. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Set temperature for 19 degrees.
I have set the temperature to 19 degrees.
Magnificent. Up front, still 20 for the right, 19 for the front left. What do we have here for the passenger in the back left? Can't quite see it at the moment, but you see the level of interaction you have with this. You also have gesture control up front, which would allow you to just wave your hand forwards or backwards to do the sunroof. You have the ability to do so much. It would take a while to learn and actually take it all in. Also back here, I'm in just this is the two-seat configuration, so nothing opens or closes. It's a permanent central tunnel. You have little storage area with your climate and also your cup holders, your heated and cooled cup holders that you have there. I think you get the point. There's a lot of control. We've got on the doors the grabs just beyond here where you have your controls. You can go straight into the lounge seat, which will pull the front seat as far forwards as possible. You've got a footrest that will be available down there too, obviously compulsory in the long wheelbase version. But as soon as that goes all the way up, I think it will tuck and tilt back the screen as well. It takes a moment just for the full process. But obviously when it's out, it'll be a very comfortable place to look. And I mean, even just looking forwards, the finish of this interior is a really, really wonderful thing. I'm going to show you what this is like when it's in its finished position in just a moment. Hang tight with me, and then we'll go through a few other bits and pieces as well. My footrest is coming out. The front footrest is coming out as well. All clearly in sync, and then I've got my nice lounge position. You can do your ventilating, you can do your heating, you can move the front seat. You've got a one key press as well to revert all back to normal should you wish. Back here is, quite frankly, phenomenal. What a spectacular environment to be in this car. And look, we've got our tables in here as well. I nearly missed those. We've got the tables in the armrest that open up if you need to get some work done, let's say while you're at the wheel, or on the road I should say. You're not at the wheel when you're in the back, or maybe in the future you might be with autonomous driving. We've got some storage, we've got some USB-C ports, plenty of USB-C ports, 12-volt charging sockets, and there are wireless charging pads as well. Actually behind the screen is a little cubby for a wireless charging pad. So you can see that this is, again, now that the seat's gone back, all very, very, very nice. Close that away, shut it down. Yes, this is new S Class. What you might have hoped it would be. Really, really nice. And then here is the charging pad space that you have just behind. So a pretty good view then of what this car offers. A lot of functionality, very, very trick, very, very clever. Really magnificent. The heritage of the S Class goes back a long way, over 100 years, back to 1904. The S Class name itself has been around now for quite a few generations, and the new generation does not disappoint. We actually have the rather beautiful example of the tail fin car sitting alongside at the moment as well, which was the first production car that incorporated crumple zones, thinking what would happen in the event of an accident. The new car is just to another level in terms of technology, in terms of assistance, in terms of prediction, in terms of knowing what's going on and making your journey even more comfortable, even more safe, and even more enjoyable as well. Now these cars are the S500, also with, it's the 6-cylinder petrol engine, also with the 48-volt system. There's also the S450, along with 2 diesel engines, the S350D and the S400D. They will be joined in future by an S580E, the V8 with a hybrid system, and hopefully as well some models from AMG, and also the luxury from Maybach as well. Although with this as the starting platform, you've got to presume it's got a very exciting future ahead of it. No doubt a lot of fun for the owners to enjoy configuring, choosing the options and the specification as well that the car can have. I've certainly enjoyed the opportunity to take a first look at it today. I hope you have as well. There's a lot more to discover though, and hopefully there'll be an opportunity to do so on the channel in the not too distant future. For now though, thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I appreciate your support an awful lot, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!